John Herbert Black, my great-grandfather, was a foreman in the military division for the Jones and Laughlin factory in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jones and Laughlin was a steel company, and John Black manufactured Mon-El steel used in World War II. The reason he was not drafted into the war was that his duty in crafting steel was highly important to the military. Mon-El steel was the very first case-hardened steel. The concept was to make it hard enough so that it would be impenetrable by bullets. It was used to create dog tags, machinery, weaponry, and since it resisted corrosion, it was used for piping systems, pump shafts, and seawater valves. John Black built a strong foundation as he raised my grandfather, who became a successful author, as he was a main producer and writer of Star Trek. Traveling past World War II, the date is November 22nd, 1963, and the current president, John F. Kennedy, is cruising through Dallas in the presidential limousine. But when the car enters Dealey Plaza, 3 shots are fired and Kennedy is dead. My father, Christopher J. Black, was only 4 years at the time, but his memory of the nightmarish day is still as vivid as if it had happened yesterday.
My memory of the JFK assassination is fairly unique, I think, because it's my very first memory I can actually say I know from time and place and remember details about. I was 3 when he was murdered, and I remember sitting on the floor next to my mom, who was watching the TV, just sobbing, and then watching the footage on TV of the people on the streets in Dallas doing the same, and actually watching Walter Cronkite announce that he was dead, that Kennedy had been assassinated. The world came to a stop. My household came to a stop. I'm not sure my mom moved from in front of that TV for several days. As with the entire country, we all came to a stop. And I remember watching it all, watching the reports, watching the analysis, watching the funeral. It was an amazing and kind of gruesome pageant, but it was just a devastating moment that I'll never forget. As to the effect of the assassination, I'm not sure the country ever recovered from it. This young, dynamic, handsome president with a wife even more beloved, gone in this graphic, bloody moment of death, the loss of that for a young America. I think the young people in the country have never recovered from that for years. The president had always been an old man, looked like a grandfather or great-grandfather, and this young, dynamic guy was there, reflected them, and then he's gone. And I don't think America ever recovered their faith, their trust in the presidency, in the process, in trusting that things would go as they wanted them to. I think it was a great loss of faith from that point forward.
On September 11, 2001, another awful event shocked Americans as a group of terrorists hijacked multiple planes and crashed them into the World Trade Center, killing almost 3,000 people.
September 11th, 2001, I had gotten up a little earlier than usual, as I was supposed to be downtown downtown Los Angeles at a hearing, and turned on the TV and saw the first images of the first tower burning, and the reports that a plane had flown in and nobody was quite sure what was going on. No talk of terrorism at that point. When the phone rings, and it's the mother of one of Ethan's best friends, frantic, asking, what are we doing? What should we do? Should we send the kids to school? Should we stay home? I didn't really have an idea that this was such a major event as it became. And I said, of course the kids should go to school. Life should go on. I didn't really get it. Went downtown to the courthouse, sent the kids to school, went downtown to the courthouse, where everybody was on edge, to say the least, sat waiting for the hearing to begin, at which point the building was evacuated due to potential terrorist activity. That's when we knew something was serious. We went home, continued to watch TV, went to the office, and as it unfolded, realized that that day had changed everything forever. Air travel, trust in people's goodwill, doing that sort of evil, perpetrating that sort of wanton destruction and killing just because, that's changed things forever.
A small team of Americans carried out the operation with extraordinary courage and capability. No Americans were harmed. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
Remembering that night when the news was broken to me, sitting in my room, working on homework, I felt a great sense of relief as one of the worst people ever to live was gone for good. After Osama's death, the world could begin working on a much larger scale to create peace in the Middle East.